coordinates in the inspector to move your sprites. That means you can just as easily change the positions by entering numbers in the inspector. This will come in handy if you need to line things up perfectly or set them in a very specific position, something you'll do a lot of. We'll see later on though that there are also more effective ways to ensure that everything stays nicely lined up and snapped to a grid while we work. What about Z? I hear you ask. Well, the Z-axis is largely redundant when creating 2D games, though not entirely. We'll see later on that you can use this option to create a parallax scrolling effect and that it can also be useful for defining which sprites should be rendered for the player to see when there are multiple located in the same place. This can also be controlled by changing the Z order, which we'll also look at later on. Rotation and scale. You may have noticed that you also have two more interesting options under Transform here in the inspector. These are rotation and scale. They pretty much do what they say and allow you to alter the rotation and the size of your sprites. We'll ignore rotation for now because we won't be needing that for a while. But you'll find that if you change scale X and Y from 1 to 2, your sprite doubles in size. Manipulating game objects in the scene view. If you wanted to do this freehand, you could opt to alternatively use the tools along the top of screen, on the left just above the hierarchy window. These tools include a hand and various arrows doing different things, as shown in Figure 3 to 13. 50. Figure 3 to 13. The tools you'll be using in the scene view. These tools change the way you interact with the scene view. You simply click the tool you want to indent it and select it. The hand at the furthest left lets you drag the screen around and move your view, which is useful for scrolling through a large level. The tool that looks like 4 arrows on a compass is what you use to move specific game objects around the screen, see Figure 3 to 14. You can simply click the game object and start moving it around freely in the scene view, or you can select it and then drag either the red or green arrow to move it solely in the X or Y axis respectively. Figure 3 to 14. The drag tool. The 2 curved arrows indicate the rotation tool. Select this and a circle will appear around the selected game object that will allow you to rotate it in 2 dimensions. Then you have the scale tool, which again gives you 2 arrows that you can use to scale the object along each axis. The final tool is your jack of all trades. It lets you drag game objects, resize them by pulling on the corner, or draw squares to select multiple objects in one go. Whether you move your objects around freehand with the tools or by changing numbers in the inspector, you can arrange your sprites however you like and conceivably create some nice looking landscapes. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. 51. Testing the game and using the camera. If there's one control in the UI that's likely to have caught your eye, it's the play button. The good news is that this does exactly what you would hope. It allows you to test the game. Hit the play button and your game will run in the game window, showing you 2 squares located on a light blue background. It's probably not going to take the world by storm, but congratulations, you just ran your first working program, Figure 3 to 15. This is our hello world, and things only get a lot more fun from here. Figure 3 to 15.